Good morning, everybody. It's wee Paddy from across the Shuck in Ireland, and coming back at you with a video this morning. This is a video on my first custom knife. It's a maker from the UK, so I was over the moon to find somebody. We don't seem to have that many makers who are putting the word out, you know, on a global stage, which I think is such a shame. But anyway, I was so happy to find this fella's called Michael May. He works from Sheffield in England, which, as we all know, was the heart of the cutlery industry in the UK. And Michael has taken over. He didn't start out as a knife maker. And what I'm going to do down below, I'm going to link to a video that he's made, and his YouTube is there. You can go on, you can find it. He has about 3 videos, and it tells you a bit about where he came from. But he'd went to university and he had studied completely different subjects and come out and ended up following the family into knife making. Now, not custom knife making, he went into a shop and he learned, he's still learning, as all knife makers do. They're constantly learning their trade. So he'd gone through university, qualified, got whatever he needed, and then decided to change his life and become a knife maker. So Michael is still in that getting his name out there, and I hope to help him do that, because a spoiler alert, I like his product. I like the history behind him, and I also like the fact that he's keeping old models of knives alive. So, but he'll tell you, you'll find that out in his story, and I would like you to go and investigate it. I'll leave it down in the description, but give me about 5 minutes after I put the video up before I get that uploaded. I still haven't learned how to do it beforehand. So, that's the knife in front of you. And if you've seen my first impressions of it, you know I gushed and was over the moon. This is a realistic look at the knife. This is me going through it with a fine tooth comb. And because it was custom made, I don't want you to think expensive. To buy this knife is about £65. So what's that, about $80, $85? To get the file work done in the back, you add another few quid, and it's only a few quid. It's not unrealistic. So what you'll find is you'll get this package for somewhere around, and it is only around, £80, which say is $100. So it's $100 knife. That is very reasonable for what you're going to get. And I'm going to walk you through it now slowly. We'll go through it, let you see the knife, and then we'll do some measurements. But I think the walkthrough is lovely first. This is a single bolstered. It's his ergonomic handle pattern, and it's made of English oak. He does all the file work himself on that spine, which is beautifully done, and it goes on to the tang of the blade as well. Beautifully done, brass bolstered, just a single bolster. Now, this is an ergonomic, as he calls it, an ergonomic sheath handle. It doesn't look particularly ergonomic. If you can tell from my first video, by the way, to now how much this wood has patinaed, it's miles apart from when I got it. But isn't it just beautiful? Isn't it just beautiful? It really just exudes just utter beauty. Now, there's 2 little flaws in this knife, which I'm going to get out of the way right now. The 2 little flaws. One, the bolster's not even on the side. Tiny, tiny little flaw. Will never bother me as long as I live. Never. But I just want to be honest. Michael is learning, so, I mean, not learning, I mean, he's a craftsman already, but, little things that, it's not completely off, is it? It's just slightly off. It's a nitpick, a real nitpick, because unless you're really looking for something, you'll not find that. So, lovely brass, and they're hand polished, hand rubbed brass. Just gorgeous. And this, what I love is the pull. The pull is lovely. It is a sturdy, I would say it's probably about a 7 pull. There's Michael's name, and it's Sheffield England. Oh, I'll pull that back a wee bit for you. If you can see that. There you go. Michael May, Sheffield, on the tang of the blade there. It's got a single nail nick and a swedge just at the end of the blade. I'll let you see that. It doesn't have it on the other side, which traditional knives wouldn't have had. That's the way I would nearly call it like filigree pattern right up the back here onto the blade. It's just delicious. It really is delicious. I just love it. Just the craftsman on that alone just takes it to me. The knife is a lamb's foot. It came reasonably. It was reasonably sharp when it came. I have since sharpened it. It's made of C70 carbon steel, so it will rust. You have to look after it. You can see where I've used it where food prep. Or for I was eating sausage supper down in a wee seaside town, and this is what I used to cut my sausages up. So I mean, I have been using it for food, for everything. But you do need to look after these. I don't. I'll wait till the patina comes on it. I don't live in a particularly humid area, but I will look after if anything comes on. I would oil it, but I don't need to. I want it to pat it. I want this to be a using knife. Although most people get customs to put away in a cabinet. I don't. I don't do that with my knives. So I want this, and the price it is. This is a using knife. It's made to be used. It's a sturdy, sturdy knife, and it's a lamb's foot. Is it sharp now? Well, I mean, I've sharpened it myself now, so I know it's really sharp. It's a lovely, lovely knife, and it's a lovely knife in hand because it has that bit of weight. It has that feel on it. This is a really well-sprung knife. Really well-sprung knife. And you can hear that. It's so solid. I don't envisage having any problems whatsoever with this knife. Now, the other fault that I had found, now this is me being a bit, right, there's the choil here, and where the cut off to the blade is too much on the one side. It's been overdone, so this side didn't have the proper choil there. That is the only fault that I can find in this knife. That and the wee nitpick at the back, which is a complete nitpick. Now, again, this is $100 handmade knife. So I can look over that. I'm hoping the next knife I get, and there's another spoiler alert, I am going to order another knife off them at the end of the month. So that's me putting my money where my mouth is. This is a lovely working knife. C70 carbon steel. It's not the best edge retention in the world, but I don't care. This is just an EDC knife. This is an EDC knife that'll do anything. It sharpens easy. I have a good edge on it now. As you can see there, I put a nice edge on it. It's just really, really nice as a working knife. I was going to use a slip and everything to carry this, but you see, good intentions, they're worth nothing. I've just carried it and used it and threw it in my pocket, and it's just lovely. When it gets in your hand, you feel as if you have a knife. It really is that good. So let's go through the measurements of what you're getting. Let me bring this down here. So I'll start it here, and then we're going to do the milliliters as well. So it's just under a 4-inch handle. Just under a 4-inch handle, which in them millimeter things it's 12.7 centimeters long. Sorry, what am I, 12? Where did I get that from? It's just 10.2. No, it's about 10 centimeters long, the handle. That is the worst measuring I've ever done. And it's 2 3/4 inch, the blade. And the blade is 7 centimeters long. So overall length, which is what I wanted to go to, and it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, just over 6.5, which is about 16.5 centimeters. What weight is it? I would say it's quite, I've never weighed it because I just haven't felt the need to be that specific with it. I've really enjoyed this knife. I think it's slowly becoming one of my favourite pocket knives. Now, it's not something you'll wear in a tracksuit bottom because it is quite, well, 2.7, so it's not horrendous by any means. But, it's a good, solid, well-made knife. It doesn't feel like a little light knife, which it shouldn't, because this is a work knife. The one thing I can say about this is a proud carry. If you're going to bring this out in an office, you will have nothing but admiration from your colleagues. It is beautiful. Beautiful in hand. It's not scary at all. In fact, when you bring that out and you show that, who's not going to be impressed with that workmanship? Who is not going to be impressed? The rest of the fit and finish is absolutely lovely. The blade is centered perfectly there. Maybe a wee touch to the right. What do I see? It's very hard to get this out. There you go. Maybe a little touch to this side, but not very much at all. Really lovely. And I'll have to say, for that price, for any price, it's just a beautiful knife. I am so glad I found Michael, and I want to promote our own country, like Americans, Canadians, Australians. We all like to promote our own. This is the first one I found somebody, and I said I was going to promote it on the channel. So it's lovely. I'll go back at the end of the month and buy another one off him. So I'll leave the video to his channel in the description below. I say give me 5 minutes after it's uploaded and I'll get that wee video up for you so you can go straight to it. I'll put his name and everything in the description. A real nice fella to deal with. Please, I'm going to give you now some comparisons. There is my GEC. I'll put it, and it's near enough the same, so a little bit smaller. That's a 78 pattern. And here is my new acquisition, which is the SAC, and it's the Pioneer, which is 93 millimeters. So they're roughly the same size of knives, completely different. This being the, and I think it stands out as a custom knife, which is really lovely. And the lamb's foot is not one that you see all the time. And this handle certainly isn't a shape that you see. But if I show you this handle, this is your hands, your fingers don't come over and into your palm. They are securely on there. You're right up next to it, absolutely beautifully. So there you go. Michael May's custom, made in Sheffield, English oak, brass, C70 carbon steel, and the best by far designed back spring I've ever seen on a knife. I love it. I recommend it. And I think if you're going to spend the money, I can't think of a better way to spend $100, to be honest with you, to have your own knife. Because this will not be the same. This is not mass produced. This is somebody using his hands to build your knife that you order from him. It takes about a month, and unless he has a wee run where he's made a couple of extra. But most of the time it takes about a month between delivery, and he'll deliver anywhere. So, thank you very much, Michael. I really do appreciate it. I love your knife. I want more. I'll be ordering one at the end of the month. Take care, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this. My first visit to the custom world, and it could be a bit addictive, couldn't it? Thanks very much indeed. Take care. All the very best. Paddy's away for a cup of tea.